And welcome back to the Awfully Irish podcast.
How are we getting on, guys?
Pretty good.
Today we got two guests. How about you guys introduce yourselves?
You want to go ahead, Brian?
Go ahead.
All right. I'm Richel Stratton. You may have seen me on A&E's Ghost Hunters.
And I'm the other one. I'm Brian from Ghost Hunters, Brian Murray. And yeah, let's have some fun.
Let's have some fun.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that's the plan anyway. So you guys are the fourth paranormal investigators we've had on the show. Definitely a group we've had a lot of on, because we are kind of on the fence. We live in County Offaly, and County Offaly has plenty of haunted places because of different historical things that happened. And Ireland itself is pretty haunted. It's had some horrible things happen to it. But Dara is definitely the most convinced that ghosts are real.
Yeah.
So yeah, we thought we'd just have a conversation about it and so on. So where do we want to start, guys?
Us or you guys?
Well, I usually end with the sandwich story, so I suppose we'll let you two go first. When did you get your start in paranormal investigation?
How did this start? Were you haunted as kids? Because that's been the last two stories you've gotten.
So I had an experience when I was 8 years old. I woke up in the middle of the night to someone standing at the foot of my bed dressed in period clothing. They had a bonnet on. I told my mom about it. She didn't believe me. So, the next night we go to bed and my sister wakes up to the same foot of her bed. And my mom started to believe us. But when you're 8 years old, there's only so much you can do. So eventually, when we got older, my sister and I started investigating. And, we would go to private events and different ghost hunts and had experiences. And I've always kind of just been interested in it because of that experience I had when I was 8 years old. And the things that I've seen since then have only added to that interest and passion. And then eventually we joined Riverbend Paranormal, and that is how I met Brian. And then I've been investigating with him, and then somehow got on Ghost Hunters.
So how did you guys actually get on that show? Actually, first, Brian, do you want to say your story?
Yeah, I'll keep it really simple. I went over to a girl's house that I was trying to date with my buddy, Matt. We're in her basement. She went to the restroom. Her mother brought us some drinks. She bent over, put drinks on the table, and behind her was a man standing. Saw the man from about 3 feet away from me. I looked at him. He disappeared on me. I got the hell out of there. Started researching everything I could from that point on. To this day, I've still not talked to that girl. And that's how it started for me.
And they're still dating. He never broke up with her.
Never broke it off.
Kind of hoping she hears this and there's just comments like, "Hey."
I know. And actually, when he tells this story, I always tell people, if you are this girl, please contact me and I will make sure everything goes right. And Brian gets what he deserves for not breaking up with you properly.
If you're listening, it's over. Does that work?
Oh my god. Hopefully.
So is it worse to break up with someone through a text, an email, a voicemail, or on a podcast?
I'm going to go with the podcast as being possibly the worst way. And this is our first breakup on a podcast.
At least it's screen to face, face screen to real
and now
face.
The whole public knows that you're available, so well done.
I like your style.
Hey, man.
It screams confidence.
But back to the stuff. How do you get on the show? How does one get on one of those shows?
I actually got a phone call after I got off work one evening. I thought it was a bill collector. So I went outside. I didn't want my wife to know that I was not paying a bill or so. So I went outside to see who the phone call was. And it was person on the other line that said, do you want to possibly do an interview for a paranormal show? I said, okay. I literally just talked to them. I was talking to you. They seemed to like it. I was in my dirty work clothes. And just a short time after that, I was on my way to LA to be myself in front of a bunch of people with my best friend, Richel.
Thomas, your mic.
Yeah, sorry about that, everybody.
Come on.
I'm gonna pull the plug on it. All right, go on. My bad.
Well, they called Brian and asked him about it, and then I guess they asked him who he worked with, and he named a few people, and I was one of them. And then he opened up the team, Riverbend Paranormal, and it's like, this is my team. This is the people I work with. He said that I was his best friend because we are best friends. So,
Oh.
but they called me and they're like, "You talked to Brian." I was like, "Okay," and I kind of thought it was a joke. Like
I've never heard this.
You never heard it? I didn't think it was serious. I thought that it was someone. Okay. Sure. TV show. All right. So I did a phone interview that only lasted like 5 minutes, and they're like, "We want to do a Skype interview with you." I was like, "Okay." Again, I thought it was a joke, so I was unapologetically myself the whole time, like making inappropriate comments and jokes and being stupid and basically, just embarrassing myself essentially, but not on purpose. I don't know. And I ended up trying to do a Skype interview in my car because I was trying to do it at lunchtime, but I work at a dental office and we had a root canal that went over, so all you could hear was drilling. So I tried to do it in my car, and they're like, try to do this another day because we want to put your best foot forward. I was like, I don't care. I'm not homeless. I just am sitting in the car because my office is noisy. And then we ended up rescheduling. I went ahead and did that. They liked me, flew me out to California. And when we were there, we said, not everyone's going to be here this whole week. You may get sent home early. And I told him, I was like, listen, I got someone to cover my patients at my job, and I have child care. Keep me the whole week. I don't care if you want me for a show or not, but don't ruin my vacation type of thing. Like a little, getaway. I didn't have to pay for it, and I was hanging out in California with Brian. Like, I was like, please keep me the whole week. I will get water for people. I don't even have to be part of this. Just keep me. So they kept us the whole week. And then they told us they were going to call us in a couple of weeks and let us know what was going on. We were like, okay. And they didn't. So Brian and I were like, okay, well, that was fun while it lasted. And we just went about our day. When I went to the casting or whatever, I had green hair. And because I hadn't heard from him, I decided I was switching it. Like I bleached my hair. I was getting ready to switch it to a different color. I had braces put back on. And then they called and told me that I was picked. I was like, what? And they were like, congratulations, like you're a ghost hunter. I was like, oh, okay. And they said, get excited. Like, this is a good thing. I was like, I am excited. And they said, that's your excited like response is okay. I was like, yep. That's pretty much
And it all went from there.
But then I told them, I was like, as a heads up, my hair's a different color. I have braces. And they were like, what part of we want you on a TV show makes you think go change your whole entire appearance? I was like, oh, I didn't know that was against the rules. But then they figured out real quick that I do this shit all the time. So they just have to get used to it.
We also got into a fight, Richel and I, or a disagreement on campus. Sealed the deal for us. Do you know what I mean?
What'd you say?
I said,
You cut out for a second.
What'd you say?
You cut out for a second.
I said, we kind of, 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 I
I said you cut out for a second.
Oh, I said we kind of got into a fight on camera uh, during the week. I think that was a deal for us.
What happened was we were investigating, okay? And I asked a stupid question. It wasn't a stupid question the way I was thinking.
Thomas, we get it.
Okay. So he made a point to tell me how dumb I was. And I told him, stop trying to make me look stupid in front of people. You're being such a dick. Well, our cameraman started laughing, and Brian and I realized that they were filming. And we were like, oh, crap. Like, okay. So, like, it was just a funny thing because we bicker like brothers and sisters all the time. And we even did it at casting.
Well,
Fair enough. And I guess what was the first place you guys investigated together, like,
For the show?
or just general show outside the show?
First place me and her investigated back in her home is called it's called Mineral Springs Hotel.
Thomas looked it up.
Yep.
Mineral
Illinois.
Springs, is that in
Illinois.
Texas?
It's
No.
in Illinois.
Oh right, sorry. There's another place in Texas called that. Sorry, no, continue.
And then for the show, we actually went and did St. Augustine Lighthouse in Florida first. There it is.
Yeah. Right there.
Wow, that place just screams creepy. Jesus.
Yeah.
So what's the history there?
It's our favorite location. Well, it's my favorite location around here. And we actually have an event coming up in September where we're going to investigate it. So I'm excited about that. Another fun, like a little interesting tidbit is none of us knew that we were going to be on Ghost Hunters. We all thought it was a paranormal show. None of us knew it was Ghost Hunters. And then we found out that it was that, and that Grant was going to be a part of it with us, and he actually helped pick all of us. And that was something, it was just a really strange thing because you watch these different shows, you get into paranormal investigating, and it's a big deal in general to get on a paranormal show where you have somewhat unlimited resources to do something you're passionate about and try to further the field, let alone to get on Ghost Hunters. Like,
Yeah.
Are all the shows titled Ghost Hunters connected? Like, are they all run by the same people?
No.
No?
No, they're all different, pretty much.
Fair enough. We weren't too sure at the start.
They're all different. They all have their own little element on what they're trying to accomplish. For listeners, we're just figure out what's going on and help the client out, further the field of paranormal research. And other shows have their angles, and we wish them the best of luck.
Yeah.
One of the photos is, if you've ever seen, I think your guy Zach is pretty funny. I think that's his name.
You get off there, Jared.
Yeah, you go.
Never mind. Well, you were talking about the field. So we talked to Mustafa a little bit about the science aspect of it. So could you tell us a bit about that?
about the science aspect of it?
Yeah, like you're using different tools to measure different
Okay.
things.
So all the, like, when we investigate, all the equipment that we're using isn't designed to detect ghosts. A lot of it is to, measure infrasound, detect environmental changes, because a lot of the time when paranormal activity happens, it affects the environment around us. Also, sometimes you can think that paranormal activity is happening, but it's actually just high EMF. So we go in and we try to debunk everything that we can, all the claims. Like, if they're seeing shadow figures, is there a way that a shadow can be cast by a car moving by, or, things like that. If they're feeling paranoid, like they're being watched, and do they have high EMF, or infrasound? And then eventually we go into trying to actually communicate with someone that is there or possibly there. We use a data logger, which measures a bunch of different environmental changes: pressure, humidity, temperature, EMF, vibration. And a lot of the time when we catch like EVPs or, something moves, that data logger will go off before it with temperature and a lot of time pressure. So we're trying to find out if there's we believe there's a correlation between the environmental changes and paranormal activity, and we're trying to figure out what exactly has to happen in the environment for paranormal activity to happen, or is the paranormal activity just happens and changes the environment?
Yeah, we basically go into a location with an open mind and let the evidence and the science speak to us, and let allows us to say, this place has activity or not. We use different instruments, not to find ghosts like she was saying, but different environmental changes, to kind of figure that out. You know what I mean? Yeah. We don't go in thinking a place is haunted. We put in the work to try to figure out what's going on there. A lot of times, most times, I would say there's a natural explanation. And somebody calls you to their house and says, we've got a haunting going on, and you can go in there and even find a natural, explanation. That's a win too. We're trying to help people out, whether they're scared or not. Sometimes you can tell them, well, the reason why you're seeing this shadow is because the window lets in this amount of light, and when a car drives by, it looks like a little kid. So boom, no ghost.
We also just recently started using the EMCCD camera, which it can capture photon events, and it's amazing because we've actually captured. Have you guys seen season 2 yet?
No. I don't think so. No,
I don't think so. I've been binging clips, so maybe 1 or 2 clips.
Okay, well, in season 2, we introduced the EMCCD camera, and that captures photon events. It's amazing because it's not like other cameras. And the stuff that we've captured is crazy, and we can't explain it. And we've actually, all of us have gone through the footage trying to figure out what it is. We've tried to debunk it. These light anomalies that we captured in Clifton, Arizona. Brian and Brandon did an awesome job trying to debunk it. And actually, the only thing that even resembled what we had saw or seen was a map. So whatever we captured had energy and was putting off heat. And then we also captured a shadow figure at Fort Stanton, Arizona. And and that was also something that we tried to recreate and couldn't. We've taken that footage and we've given it to people who use this camera, who are scientists and physics and things, different scientific fields, and they've looked at it and they haven't been able to explain it either. And we don't know if we're capturing something in a different form of manifestation, like what stage it is, or if we're capturing different types of entities. And it's definitely something we need to further our research with, but that camera has been a great asset for sure.
See, yeah, we talked before about like there's nothing that's find a ghost. You're looking for the environmental changes. Mustafa talked a lot about the pressure changes. Is like his favorite one to look at, because they don't happen for no reason. Now, I was going somewhere with that, but I just blanked.
Story of my life. I do that every day.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you're such a disappointment. Jesus.
There's 5 people here.
Nah, I'm messing.
And what tool do you think is the most useful for you guys?
What tool?
Yeah.
What piece of equipment? Like, would you
That's
say it's
what I
definitely the EMCCG, Or would you say it's different devices that you might have to use?
Well, the EMCCD camera is definitely, it's extremely important. Like, it's up there. But I'm an audio girl, so the binaural microphone is my favorite thing because when you capture an EVP, it can tell you so much more information than necessarily an image that you capture with a camera. It can tell you whether it's residual or intelligent. It can tell you if it's a man, woman, or child. You can even get answers to your questions.
Plus, it's spooky.
And it's spooky. Yeah. But the binaural microphone, it mimics human hearing, but only amplifies it. So it's almost like supersonic mom hearing. But you can tell if it's like when you're wearing it, you can listen in real time and you can tell what direction something's coming from, which I think is wonderful. And Brian and I used it on one investigation that we were hearing footsteps walking. Like he was walking around, he would stop and I would hear footsteps continue. And I could tell them exactly where they were coming from.
That's crazy.
Well, it's probably my
pretty scary.
Yeah.
Like, that gets me like kind of spooked because I've seen different examples like Get Out or something. And that's kind of terrifying. You hear it's like demonic noise.
Yeah.
And you have to continue looking after that.
Would you guys say that you're scared of ghosts or scared of paranormal entities? Would you say you're
Do you guys
frightened by
believe
them?
in ghosts?
No. But like would you say you're frightened by them?
No. If you think of a ghost entity, we try to tend to think of them as people just like you or I. If you're a pissy, a lot of people think that ghosts or entities are bad. I've seen this dark shadow, so it's got to be bad. Well, Hollywood has made it that every dark shadow, every black thing that you see, in your house that you're not supposed to be seeing is something that's evil and bad. Well, that's not the case at all. These are people just like you or I. If you're a asshole in life, you'll probably be one in death. Doesn't mean you're a demon. It just means you're a shithead. You know what I mean?
It doesn't change just because you pass on.
Right.
But no, not scared. I will say that you can startle me, but my own kids startle me and I'm not scared of them. No. That's just a natural reaction that I don't think people can get rid of. And anytime, I can tell you right now, loud noises get me every time. You want me to jump, my heart racing, do a loud noise, but that can be in a location that's not even haunted. Somebody drops something, and if it's loud, you're going to startle me. And that's my favorite type of investigation now. When we get like a noisy spirit or entity likes to bang on things. Like, I'm like, okay, I know someone's here.
I don't get scared either. I get startled as well, and it's not really good when I get startled because I will straight up throw a punch at you. I have no problems, man, woman, child, dog, cat. And if you scare
woman, child, dog, cat.
Richel, she knows very firsthand on that.
Oh, no.
I've been hit so many times by that
I'm
man.
not
It's not even funny.
Wow.
No, yeah, we were actually at Waverly Hills, and I walked away to go. I thought I heard something, so I walked away to look at it. I came back right in front of him, like entered the doorway right in front of him, walked up to him. I was like, "Hey, blah 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 blah," and he punched me in the ribs.
Ooh.
Where'd you come from? I was like, right in front of you. What the hell? And
I don't know if you guys have seen the show or anything, but it's pitch black. Like I can't.
And it's Waverly Hills, like.
And she just goes away. She doesn't say anything. She hops and she pops up right in front of me and wants to pretend like, oh, I'm just here. Bull shit.
Wait.
not trying to scare you, and I believe I told you that I was going to check it out, but the Van de Graaff was going, so you couldn't hear me.
Waverly
Yes.
Hills is a sanatorium, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. I remember it, yeah. That place is spooky.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's
I have a story for you guys that happened to me yesterday. If you want to hear it.
Oh yeah, we want to hear that.
Please.
No. Yeah, of course.
No.
It's pretty damn good. He messaged me and
Yeah.
told me it, and I was like, I have lots of questions. Continue. Sorry.
In my day job, I'm a construction worker, and I was driving down the road. I had a trailer on the back of my truck, and I pulled on this one road on the way to my shop, and the trailer. So I had to stop and put the trailer on. Well, while I was there, this man showed up, and he helped me. Like, I didn't see this man show up. All I know is that he was helping me put the trailer on there. He helps me put the trailer back on my truck, and he says to me, just tell him Mike helped you. I said, okay. He was gone. The whole thing took about 15 seconds. From the time I got out of my truck to get back in, took about 15 seconds, and there was no sight of this man. Okay? If he would have went in front of me, I would have saw him because I was driving down that road. Behind me, if he was going that way, it took me, and I timed this because I'm a ghost hunter and I'm an investigator. So it took me 2 minutes to get back to the highway from where I was. It took 15 seconds for me to get in the truck after this whole thing happened. He was not there. I don't know what happened to this person. All I know is, and I found out another thing, where my trailer popped off, right across the street, is a house where, and I forgot to tell you this, Richel.
Yeah. New information.
Sorry.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
Found his woman with another man, and he killed himself, and he killed 2 people. Right at that house is where my trailer came off. Which
Jesus Christ.
I'm reaching there, but I'm telling you guys, look at me, look at my eyes, look at these little blue eyes. I'm telling you, the guy was there. He said to me, tell him Mike helped you, and he was not there in 15 seconds. I'm not fast. I can't run fast. But the fastest human being I've seen, I never even seen him pull up.
Okay. Was he in a car or was he just there?
He was just there.
Okay. How close was the house to where you were at? Do you think they went to the back of the house?
300 feet.
Do you think he went back in the house?
No. There was a truck that pulled up. There was a truck that pulled up behind me. He pulled up in a truck, or there was a gray truck behind my trailer.
Okay. Now, do you know the names of the people that died in that house?
No, I ain't got that far yet.
And his name
Some ghost
was
Mike.
Mike.
That kind of that reminds me of.
Want to hear.
There's a really funny sandwich story I have. No.
Oh no. That kind of reminds me of. Have any of you ever seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure? No, I swear to God, just continue listening. The Large Marge thing, yes, it reminds me exactly of that.
Large Marge sent you?
Yeah, exactly. I thought you were about to say you went into a bar and said that Mike sent you, and everyone dropped their glasses and looked at you.
Being for real, like that. This happened to me just yesterday, and I don't usually call people on the phone. Richel can tell you, I don't really like. There's Large Marge. I don't really like to call people. I called 3 or 4 people yesterday to let them know what happened.
That's pretty
One
freaky.
of them was my mom.
I was that one. Did you call?
I messaged you.
But I called you and you were telling me about it.
Okay.
I never called you.
Actually, no, that was today. Never mind.
Wait a minute. I
Never
didn't
mind.
call you. I
Hold
didn't
on seconds.
call anyone.
Hold the story. I don't even have a phone.
The theme from Halloween starts playing.
So wait,
Oh my god. Yeah, that's wow. I would be freaked.
All right,
Well,
you
I'd
want
never
your
drive
story?
again.
I'm gonna find this son of a bitch, and I'll give.
Oh, wait, Jared. Sorry, did you ask me to tell my story?
I think it's time.
Prepare
World's
to be
ready.
amazed.
Be ready. I think at
For the
least five guests,
foretelling of his story.
four or five guests have heard this story, but you're about to hear it. All right. So
I'm sorry.
it starts wherever a scary story starts, like every good scary story. So I was at a wake. Actually, no, it was the morning of a funeral. The wake was the night before, yeah. And I was about maybe 11, 12. And so everyone was downstairs. It's a 2-story building. Everyone was downstairs with the body. And I was upstairs making tea for everyone. And there was sandwiches like spread out on the table on trays. And so I'm just over here making tea. So like, let's say I'm here, right? And the sandwiches are over here on a table. But they're kind of in my peripheral vision, like the entire table is. And I'm just there making tea. And I see this sandwich like move and fall over. And I was like, okay. And like I was fine with that. I was like, the sandwich fell over. The sandwich fell over. It's fine. And I went back to making my tea. The same sandwich fell over again. And I was like, okay. What is going on?
Was it like it was a ham sandwich or something?
It was a ham sandwich. It was a ham
I hated
sandwich.
ham sandwiches.
Yeah, they were
Oh.
probably like pushing the ham sandwich out of the way. This is you should be scared.
I apologize because you guys are a step above sandwiches falling over twice.
Listen, I'm gonna if
How did I have questions?
okay.
Also,
Ask them,
Why?
please.
do you think that was paranormal?
Now not really, but I
that-
just wanted
Are
to
you
check.
interested in the field?
Oh yeah, I'm interested in the field now.
Yeah.
I don't really think it was paranormal, but I like to tell people that it's paranormal, even though it's probably not.
Did you put the sandwich back up?
No,
Over
no,
again? How did
no.
it fall over twice?
I have no idea. Either that sandwich fell over and then a different one fell over, or that one fell over and then moved. I don't know.
Oh wow!
But there was no one.
And the
There was
block
no one.
thickens.
There was no one in the room. Everyone was downstairs for like 10 minutes, so nothing could have happened. All
Hold
the
on,
windows were closed.
Did you bump the table?
The table was at least 4 foot away from me.
Well, what did they
Fart
stand?
really hard.
What were the toppings on this ham sandwich?
It was cut into like a triangle, and
Okay.
there was butter and ham, and that's it.
Butter?
Yeah, like
What?
Wait. Why'd you look at him like that when he said butter in a sandwich?
Butter?
No, not like a sub, like an actual just triangle sandwich.
Oh yeah,
like,
they don't know what
like-
bread is, do they?
Yeah, like no, shut up. Like toast, but like not toasted, and it has ham in it and butter.
You guys are concerning me. Do you guys not
Yeah.
butter your bread?
We butter bread, but you don't butter bread to put it on a sandwich.
Oh,
do. What is
no.
wrong with you guys?
The bread. No, the bread is the sandwich.
Bread is the
The
sandwich.
bread. You go bread, butter, ham.
This is
butter,
an Irish.
bread.
This is a sandwich, right? You got
Yeah,
all your
that's a
toppings.
sandwich.
You got your
That's-
butter. You got your.
Where's the butter on those sandwiches?
It's on the bread.
We don't put
It's
the
like
butter on bread.
Spread. It's butter spread.
Okay, so like you toast it.
No,
No.
not necessarily.
No, you just
You just
get a
put
bit of butter, just spread it on the bread, and then put the ham on it.
You don't just
Mayonnaise?
bread and put it on the meat.
No,
No.
what we do is no. We get 2 slices of bread. Butter both the slices on one side, then put ham, and then put the other slice on top.
Okay, do you guys use mayonnaise or like mustard?
Sometimes, if you want it.
Sometimes, but like these were just plain
Yeah,
salt.
but like it's
Plain
normally
ham
someone's
sandwich.
dad and like
Right there. Go back.
no
Thomas,
one
go
does
back.
that ever.
Thomas, go back.
Yeah, this one here. Yeah, see, that's
No,
the
no,
butter.
No,
There's
wait,
the
no.
ham.
Yes, that's it.
I told
That's
you.
exactly how you
So
do
you
it.
have your butter, and you butter both sides of the bread, and you butter, and then you put the meat in the middle,
Put a
and then
slice
you
of ham on
you
it,
close
slap
the bread.
other one,
You close it, and it
and
goes
then
on
cut it
top
into
of
a
each other.
triangle.
I can honestly say, unless I've like a grilled cheese or a grilled sandwich that I have never put butter on a sandwich.
I have never heard of any other way to make a sandwich.
You just put the meat on the bread.
Why would you do that? That sounds horrible.
That sounds so dry.
No, what happens is, see, you know the way you'd put like sauce.
Guys, you
know
are
the way
so
put, like,
American.
hold on, hey, Jared, chill out.
We're
I'm trying to
European. We
ease
did
the
this
tension.
first.
Shut up, Jared.
You
Shut
guys
up,
changed it in the mix.
Jared. Shut up, right? You know the way if you're having like a wrap,
Make a sandwich strong.
like a tortilla wrap, you're gonna put like sauce on it and then the meat and the lettuce and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The butter kind of acts as the sauce. It's like to waterproof the bread so it doesn't get soggy.
What kind of meat are you putting on there that's going to get
Ham.
I want it.
Putting ham on it.
Is your ham usually wet?
How did we get this far?
No, we're gonna finish this as well, and right after, I'm gonna ask you how you make your tea, and if you say it wrong, we're ending the podcast. Right, let's go.
I
That's
don't
wrong.
even know where to go from there, guys. How do you guys make your tea then?
Okay, wait, no. Hey, you just blown over my story, bro.
I don't believe your story.
It's not real.
Anyways,
All right, wait,
So,
Darren,
yeah.
hold up. Right, go on.
no, Brian and Richel, do you have any more questions about the story before you either debunk or prove my story?
I just the whole thing that they fell over. What were they doing? They stand up?
Sorry, they were just on a tray, like just stacked.
Tray.
Wait, what?
They fell off the tray?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're
And you
stacked like pretty.
On the tray?
They're pretty like mountainous. Okay, like it's like a mountain of sandwiches, right? And one of them, like, no, it wasn't too high. It was like there were like sandwiches here and like a few sandwiches on top, and then one of them fell over.
You sure it was butter? They slipped? They
No,
slipped?
because the butter is on the inside, so it couldn't have slipped. Look at you.
I like that we're picking up gravity. Yes.
Yes.
I think that is
We're bringing
something-
physics into this one.
I actually think it's a haunted story.
I can't get past that you put butter on sandwiches.
Oh,
So
Jesus.
I'm sorry,
Gross.
I'm trying.
You were
What do
so
you guys
close.
use butter for?
Toast!
Toast.
Bruh.
Toast.
What
It's
is a
literally-
toasted sandwich?
it's
Do you put butter in
literally-
that?
I put it on like bagels, but usually I toast the bagels.
Yeah,
like
but
you
it's toast
toast
like.
Like, why wouldn't you do it anyway? Like, why wouldn't you just
Ooh.
not toast and put the butter on it?
because we don't put butter on, I put butter in like eggs and like to cook with it. I don't butter, or if I'm gonna eat butter bread, then I eat butter bread.
I really cannot believe
I can't get over it. I actually cannot believe
this
this.
is.
We're gonna have
this
this
is
argument
gonna-
with every American guest we ever have on there. Thank
Yeah.
you.
From now on, we're gonna actually ask them the first question we asked them.
You
on the
want to
podcast.
talk about cultural differences? Let's start with how you butter your bread.
If you butter your bread.
How about it's how you make a sandwich that I'm
Yeah.
like, what? But I have butter downstairs, I have bread, and I have ham, so I'm gonna go down as soon as
You
we
should
get off.
try it. You really
You know
should
what?
try it. It's
Would
a
you send
delicacy.
us a video or something of you trying it? We'd love to see that.
Oh my god,
Make
please.
one real quick.
Yeah, go make one. Yeah, we'll chat. Yeah, go on, quick, run, go, go.
I can't believe this. This episode will be called "How to Make a Sandwich with."
Yo, Brian, man, if you want to go
Okay,
make one,
how to make a split
we're really good at
sandwich.
stalling.
Okay, so
man.
Brian.
Honest
Brian, so you're saying my story's legit, yeah?
I like it.
Right, done.
Boom.
God. Right,
Do I-
you're just
Fuck you,
encouraging
Chris.
him. You're just encouraging him, man. You're just encouraging him.
Do I got to get another Guinness?
Yeah, of course you have no time to go get another Guinness, man.
All right, hold on.
Master fucking stallers.
Right,
So,
well,
Lads, I'll be honest with this.
conclusion to that conversation, fuck y'all, my story's real.
Okay,
You want to be like that, man. You want to be like
I
that.
think part of the reason I've never had a paranormal experience is
Because you don't
the
believe it.
house I live in. We're the first people that have ever lived in it. Like it was built 20 years ago. We've been living in it for 20 years.
The guy who built my house died like the day after it was done being built.
Yeah, well, bro, my house is over 100 years old, so,
I just asked.
Yeah, yours is like an old style Irish cottage.
yeah, it's super old.
Brian, go on.
I just asked my wife about the bread and the butter on her sandwich.
What'd she say?
She's Korean.
Oh,
And she's absolutely.
She's what? You cut off there?
sorry, you cut off.
She's Korean.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I asked her, and she was like, "No, it's unheard of."
Man, what
Guys.
the fuck is going on?
Every year, well,
Are we the only sane people? Has the world gone
no.
mad?
In the UK and Ireland, we definitely do it. I don't know about do it in Germany. In France, they use like olive oil and stuff. They're
That's
a
so
bit weird.
gross.
In Spain, Thomas, when we were in Spain, did they do butter?
Yes,
I don't
they
think
did.
they did.
They did.
I guarantee.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Moment
yes,
of truth.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
All right.
Let me see
Right.
it, Richel.
so first we
Oh
gotta
my
see it to
God,
make
look
sure
at
it's
it.
right.
Okay.
Is that butter?
so-
Butter.
Oh,
It's butter.
We do it. Oh
What
my
kind of
god,
butter
we
is
got
that?
it. We got it. The ham
It's
sandwich.
white.
Yeah,
And-
well,
yeah.
shut up, Jared. It's butter, okay?
What?
Because our
Yes.
butter's yellow.
Yeah. Oh my god. Stop.
Might be the lighting in the room. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
We're ready.
I'm a little
Welcome
out
to
of
the sandwich
breath because
experience.
I-
Moment of truth.
do it.
No pressure.
Don't do it, Richel.
Come
We're
on,
watching
come
someone eat a
on.
sandwich.
What's the verdict? What's the verdict?
How many people are gonna watch this and see someone eat a sandwich?
I'm not gonna lie. I can't really taste the butter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the whole
exactly.
point.
You're not supposed to.
So what do you
You're
put
supposed
it
to
on?
elevate everything else.
But I have bread stuck in my teeth now.
Yeah, that's the whole fun of it. Now you have leftovers.
Ew, Thomas, that's so sick.
That's so weird.
That's disgusting, Thomas.
That's why you grow a beard.
This is why Thomas stays quiet most of the time.
All right.
That's
Boom.
the butter.
Hate it.
Very-
Kerrygold, that's the stuff.
That's the one that goes. That's the Irish one that goes to the US.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
told about that.
And there's
What color?
then there's dairy.
Daily, it's dairy gold, not daily gold.
Then there's dairy
Go-
gold, which technically isn't butter.
I mean, it technically is though.
It's not.
Yeah,
It has to be a certain amount of fat to.
Man, if you're talking about like that, that
Guys.
like real butter, that
Guys,
quote
We're
unquote
not
real-
talking to butter makers.
Yeah, but
I
like
went
if
downstairs to make this sandwich. My kids both said, "Why are you putting butter on that?"
oh my god, educate them, please,
Okay.
in the ways of the butter.
Anyway,
Okay.
I appreciate you took part in this experiment.
Yeah, thank you so much. Like you really went out of your way.
I just got to the part where there's a lot more butter. It's really good.
Boom.
Yes.
Boom.
Boom.
Changing society,
Scientifically
one sandwich at a
proven.
time.
Brian, I think you would get behind this.
Brian,
That's-
go do it.
Start buttering your bread, man.
Go do it.
Start a movement.
Yeah.
I'll
Protest outside the White House. Butter the bread.
You need to
guys
educate the
Protest
masses.
right now.
Yeah, maybe next year. You know, you'll get your chance. You'll get your chance.
Educate the masses.
I'll make a sandwich for my lunch tomorrow.
Do you guys
You know-
ever hear the phrase
Video.
like bread and butter?
Yeah, but like it doesn't
Like,
say
where
bread,
do you
butter,
think
and
that
ham.
came from? Like butter and bread.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Butter
guys,
your bread.
I'm sorry for this. Is we live for tangents, and that
What
was
a
a great
time.
tangent.
That has to be in the top 10 of all time.
We should clip this. Make
We
an
need to clip
animation out of
this.
it.
This needs to go everywhere.
And in the
Just like-
animation, there's like ghosts behind everyone,
Yeah, and
and
just
they're all looking in.
yeah, and when Rochelle gets to the part where more butter, her eyes just like widen, and it's like this is really good.
Anyway, guys,
What's going on? Jesus.
You guys,
Christ.
for me to try?
There's a moth
Oh.
in my ear.
Anything else we can make or try, Jared? What?
you ever have a chip
Oh,
sandwich?
no, tea. Yeah, they need tea. How do you guys
my
make your tea? You like
Oh,
boil
guys,
water
really?
on the stove, right? Oh god.
Thomas,
You ever seen that
Thomas,
video?
Thomas, shut up for a second.
Yeah.
When you said tea,
Mhm.
I assume now, correct me if I'm wrong, you're thinking of like iced tea or like Earl Grey or whatever.
I'm thinking of either tea or iced tea.
Yeah.
And we mean English breakfast.
I drink that.
Drink tea.
Awesome. Yeah, so Thomas over here is referring to an absolutely appalling video where what did she do first? She
Boiled it
she
on the
put
stove.
no, she put cold water in it first. No, she put the tea bag in. No, cold water
That
first.
monster.
Yeah, cold water first, then milk, then sugar, then the tea bag, and then microwaved it.
Not a fan of that.
What?
Have you not seen Jared, have you not seen this? I'm so
that's
sorry.
rotten. I would.
Jared, cover your virgin ears, please. This is disgusting. You cannot hear this.
That's rotten.
No.
Anyway, we're not talking to team makers either. We're talking to paranormal investigators.
We are.
So, back on topic.
Do you think ghosts eat bread and butter?
Shut up.
No, I'm messing.
All right. I actually had a question.
They should. Thank
real
you.
quick.
Yeah, they'd be much friendlier. No, I'm messing.
So both of you said that you're not like necessarily scared of ghosts, that you're more startled by them sometimes. But in saying that, obviously, like you've probably had a few scary experiences as well. So what would you say is the most for both of you? Like,
Yeah, like
most,
your horror movie moment.
yeah, being like, oh my god, I have to get out of here. Like
I'm gonna be killed, kind of.
Yeah, like I'm
Maybe not that
running
bad.
the other way.
I don't feel like I've had that moment yet, and I'm looking for it. I know that makes me sound like a horrible paranormal investigator, but I want to get scared to the point where I feel like my life is in danger and that I need to get out.
I mean, that'd be cool. It'd be a good story afterward.
Would you say that the Conjuring movies like accurately represent
No.
paranormal entities and stuff like that? Not at all.
I feel like
that was a dumb question.
Yeah, that was a dumb
But
question.
like,
because
do you know how they're
they
supposed to be
blow
based
it
on
way
true
out of
stories? Aren't they?
proportion for like for scares.
But they're supposed to be like based on true stories.
Yeah, they are based on true. No, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong again. Ed and Lorraine Warren, weren't they real paranormal investigators? Yeah, yeah.
I think when they say based on true stories, it means
It's very loose. It's a very
like
loose
the
phrase.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre was based on a true story.
Yeah. Because
But I
of
don't think
Ed
Leatherface was actually going around hacking people up, was he?
He wasn't
Maybe
like
he
killing
was.
people with a chainsaw, but he was making clothes out of skin.
Yeah, that was Dean. It was based
Yeah.
off. So Richel and I, about 2 months ago, actually did an interview and was talking with the owners of the Conjuring House, the current owners.
Yes.
That's super cool. Oh my god.
I still text with them and stuff like that. And, they have activity that happens at their home, but it's not wood type activity. You know what I'm saying? There are things that happen in that house.
He did send us some pretty interesting videos, which I can't wait to get there. As soon as all this COVID stuff calms down, they told us that we can come by whenever and investigate and hang out. So we're excited about that. We just need the world to calm down.
Yeah.
If you guys want a real life paranormal story, a paranormal case that is negative in I would say the closest to being a bad entity, look up the documentary on The Entity. Okay, this is about a woman that claimed she was being raped by a ghost, and they have not been able to disprove it to this day.
Oh my god. That's horrible.
You can get on YouTube. You could, see this guy right here on the second one, Kelly Gaynor. Watch some of that stuff. And that right there, when I watched that, probably when I was, 17, 18 years old, I still go back to this case and I still go back to review that and watch it because it's fascinating. It changes people's minds on, good and bad things. But as far as bad things, this is one of the only ones that I know of that they haven't been able to disprove.
Jesus.
I'll do the sandwich and I'll eat the butter on the sandwich if you guys watch that and tell me.
Do you know? I'm gonna watch it right after this podcast, and I'm gonna text you guys and tell you.
I don't think I'll watch it after the podcast because I will be a little girl. Yeah.
Well, just leave it.
As much as I love horror movies, like they're just wow, incredible. Stuff that's like if it says based on a true story before it, I'm gonna be like,
Like me and
Like,
Dara, we went to go
I
see
feel like
Annabelle, right?
the
And we were
big-
pissed ourselves.
Yeah, that
we
was-
laughed.
we
And
went to
Dara-
see the third Annabelle, and it's I said,
did
all
you
right, this is the best moment I could. So I didn't think, all right, so I was like trying to predict stuff in the movie, and I was like, oh, this thing's gonna happen. So like, the doll's gonna come flying out of this door, and I was like, there's no way that's gonna happen. That's so stupid. 3 seconds later, the doll came flying out of the door, and I heaved. And Thomas was like, "What are you laughing at?" I was like, "I was gonna tell you that was gonna happen, but I thought it was too stupid to even try to predict, and it happened." And then I was like, "Fuck that movie."
Yep.
But
Seriously,
no,
I'll check that one out.
sorry.
I want you to watch that documentary and tell me what you think.
I definitely will.
yeah.
Hold on. I need. Do I have a pen and paper? No, I don't. But it's going to be on the internet forever, so I'll definitely remember. I'm sorry.
Just like this podcast. Ooh.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the podcast. So if I'm like, oh, what was the name of that? I'll just go back to the podcast and re-listen. But no, like with things that are like either true or based on a true story. Like I feel like no, I'm not too sure, but I think wasn't The Exorcist? Didn't it say at the start of The Exorcist that it's based on a true story? And people still consider that came out. When did The Exorcist come out there, Thomas? Look it up.
Oh God, I don't know, man.
It's a while back.
70s.
Yeah,
It's not letting me type.
Thomas, do your job.
Yeah, man, it wasn't letting me type. I can't do my job if it doesn't let me type.
Sorry.
You know.
Yeah, of course.
The Exorcist came out in. Oh my God.
1973.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people, it's 2020 now, and people still consider that the scariest movie of all time.
I agree with them.
I think that was a re-release, Thomas.
Was it the re-release?
Yeah, that was a re-release.
It's grand, thank you.
It
Dara.
says it down there at the bottom. It says 1973.
1973. Yep, have it.
And then that story, it wasn't actually a girl; it was actually a boy.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't think you heard this, Dara, because you didn't do the Mustafa guy. You didn't do his interview. You were gone. My mum, she works in this big hospital up in Dublin.
Yeah.
It's called St. James's, and she's had patients tell her. She works in intensive care, so they're either really like knocked out, but most of them can't speak. And she said most of them, when they're kind of awake, they'll ask one of the staff to give the little girl in the communion dress some money.
Oh my God. Ugh. I hate that.
That's right up my alley.
Yeah.
Like, how freaky is that shit?
Anything to do with children and ghosts, just fucking keep it away from me.
I will say children, ghosts those creep me out because you don't know if it's really a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if it is, that means that they died when they were a kid, and like that's just
super
really
upsetting,
sad.
yeah.
And then you have to think about, I don't know. I go like, how did they die? Because it's a weird age. Like children usually don't just pass away. Like what happened? And then I go dark real quick, and I don't want.
Yeah,
Now
but I
that-
feel like adult ghosts are just kind of chilling, you know? It's kind of like adults normally. They're just like walking around being adults. And then kids are like running around the place and, you know, you hear footsteps. Like if you hear footsteps, normal footsteps walking up your hallway, you're like, okay, that's pretty freaky. But if you hear like running, you're going to be like,
Brian and I actually, when we investigated the Glen House in Cape Girardeau, the doors kept popping open. So I was checking the doors to make sure that they were all shut. And I turned around and I saw what looked like a little boy standing in the room beside me. And I reacted, but Brian reacted at the same time to me as me. I was like, "Did you just see that?" And he's like, "Did you just hear that?" I was like, he's like, "I heard little footsteps run by." And I was like, "Well, I seen a little person in there." And that was cool because I didn't hear it, but I saw them and he didn't see them, but he heard them. That is
Oh.
my house.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna click into this one which says, where was it? And Ghostly Tales. That would make more sense.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that would make sense, Thomas. Well done.
Ah, Dara, if you don't want to be fired, shut up. I'll have your job with Flaccid and you can see. Anyway, no.
Yeah. That's. Ooh.
Kristen and I were actually investigating at Fort Stanton too, and we heard something that sounded like it was running down the hall towards us, but it didn't sound like it was on 2 feet. It sounded like it was on 4 feet, and that was terrifying because I was like, no, like the claims were that they had seen like this, like dog-like creature that was huge, and I was like, first of all, I don't know how to talk to a dog-like creature. Also, if it shows up, I'm going to feed him you, Kristen. Love you to death, but there's only one way out, and it's coming from that way. So, what are we going to do? But that was kind of creepy. Me and her both looked at each other and were like, what is going on? And it sounds like it's getting closer. So.
Horrible. Oh my God, no.
My oh shit moment that I had?
Yeah,
Please.
I want to hear your oh shit moment.
Take a sip first.
Fantastic.
Get ready.
I was in a schoolhouse, and I was hearing footsteps, and I went over to where those footsteps were coming from, and on the way over there, something blew in my face, enough till I felt the breath. It was super loud, and I reached back, and I threw 2 good punches at whatever. I had to leave this area for, I bet I left for about an hour because it startled me. I mean, I felt it. It was loud. It was in my face. That was probably the one.
Oh, Jesus, man.
I think about it every time I go there now.
Oh, God.
Would you guys say that you get annoyed by people trying, do people send you a lot of stuff saying, is this a ghost? And you guys probably get a lot of that, right?
Yes.
And then would you go into depth in those, or would you kind of ignore that, or is there
Would you kind of just be like, it's not a ghost, bye?
I respond. I try to ask them what was going on and things like that. I never say whether or not it's a ghost in general. I think it's a ghost, or I can't explain it. I think it's paranormal, but I never say one way or another, especially with people who send stuff to me, because I'm not there. I can't tell you that for sure. If that, a lot of people send pictures of orbs.
Yeah.
It could be dust. It could be bugs. It could be a light reflection. It could be a ton of different things, and I'm not there, so I can't necessarily debunk it. So I can't tell you what it is. You caught something. It's there on the picture or the camera. It's there, but I don't know if it's paranormal. It could just be a natural explanation to it. So I know it sucks because I feel bad. I'm I want to help you, but unless I'm there, I can't. I don't know what to tell you about that. I'm never going to be like, oh my God, you got ghosts.
I answer everybody that will message me, but like Richel said, I never tell them ghost or not. I'm not going to mess with their beliefs.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're telling me that they believe they have a 3-headed goat person in their house, I'll look at their picture.
Yeah.
I'll form my own opinions, but I'm not going to tell them that. I just tell them, keep a logbook of what's going on and let's work through this together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever people believe in and whatever, they like, that's them. I have no reason to judge that. I do try to answer everybody though.
I do.
I'd probably be like, no, maybe, no, yes, no.
Honestly, I answer a lot with, "Oh, interesting."
Man, you're gonna have fans who watch this and they go to their DMs. You said you're like, this motherfucker.
Anytime someone texts me now, like with news, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, interesting," and then just leave it at that.
Dara, there's a new season of Ghost Hunters out. Oh,
Oh, interesting. I may take a look at that. I don't know. What was I gonna say? I had a question. Yeah, so like obviously you two have kind of explored a lot of different places and investigated in a lot of different places. What would you say is like kind of your dream place to investigate? Because there's
Jared,
sorry.
Do you want to explain yourself there, man?
Welcome back.
Hey, how are you getting on?
Did you have,
Computer crashed.
Ooh.
So
I always say that
sorry
when
about
I have to.
That
Yeah,
sounds
but,
interesting.
Sorry.
Interesting. But yeah, like obviously there's a lot of famous and infamous places that like have paranormal activity going on. So what would you two say are like your kind of dream places to visit and investigate?
Well, I know I want to investigate the Stanley Hotel.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yes, I love the Stanley Hotel.
Yeah. I just did a podcast not too long ago with a medium was on it, and we did a remote viewing. And she told me that I had a past life there. I don't know, but I have dreams about it sometimes.
Oh my
So
God!
now I need to make a trip there, and I want to know if I'm going to feel like welcomed when I get there.
You're like the Jack Torrance of the Stanley Hotel.
I feel like during this quarantine that could be the case.
That for me, I'd like to investigate the battlefields of Iraq.
That's interesting. Oh my God. I never even thought about that. That's wow. Yeah, that I'd say there'd be a lot of activity there. Like,
Yeah, mine is for. I mean, I would like to go and tell the service members that we lost over there and things like that. That they're heroes, and I'd like to just let them know that. You know what I mean? Like that would be my dedication to investigate. Not really investigate, but to be on their side again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get that.
That's wow.
That all you
Oh,
up complete.
Do you think there's a reason why some places are more haunted than others? Or do you think there's an actual... Oh my God, Dara, that's your mic. Fix it. Thank you. No, do you think there's a reason, like genuinely, do you think, or do you think there's any logical explanation why some places would be considered to be more haunted than others?
I think it has a lot to do with, you have history, but then you also have to think about like the elements around it, like the different type of minerals. Is it by water, limestone, iron, things like that? Anything like that holds electrical currents, and
Yeah.
I do think that depending on where a location is and what it has going on can affect how haunted it is.
Yeah. Oh,
I think
wow.
Jared's computer
I am
crashed again.
so going to fire him later on. Anyway, go on.
Stop talking like you're the boss of the podcast, bro. This is a 3-man job.
Yeah.
He's a man behind the curtain.
With one man
He's
down.
One man down, one man who barely shows up.
Yeah.
No, I've been busy lately, but I try my best.
So a lot to do with history and its surroundings and what's going on, kind of. Yeah.
I would say if you have a place like Gettysburg, it tends to be more of a haunted location because look at the energy that's that it to do those battles. This is a constant battle. thousands and thousands and thousands of people lost their lives there.
Mm.
You got to think that when you're in a situation like that, your body is at the highest level of energy that you can even actually put out. You know what I mean? You're on adrenaline. I think that a place like that would hold more haunting, would be more haunting because of the way these people actually passed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was tragic. It was quick, and in a lot of cases, they might not even know that they have passed yet, and that's why you're still seeing, like, you go to Gettysburg right now, and people will still hear the cannons. There's daily sightings of soldiers roaming the fields and things like that. And I know that when Richel and I went there last year, for me personally, just being on the battlefield itself, like, it was overwhelming for me. Like, I could feel the energy. I didn't even want to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I could feel it. So a place like that.
Definitely charged situations too, if you think about it like that. Something that invokes an extreme emotion, like being scared or, angry or extremely happy. Like an extreme emotion of any sort is going to leave some type of imprint on a location. And I think that kind of helps with a haunting.
There's a lot of that with Auschwitz as well. People say they can, hear screaming, and they say that it's a lot like that as well. Dara, fix your mic there, will you? Thanks. Yeah, no. Auschwitz is supposed to have this really bad kind of, it's not like a vibe, but a kind of energy, very, you know what I mean? Very sad. It would be very sad, yeah.
It's a terrible place.
It is.
Just what happened there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So would you say it's more common for places that have kind of like bad events that occurred there, or bad energy, to have more kind of like sightings and activity?
I don't think it would be more. I think that, I feel personally, these things roam every inch of our earth. And some people have the ability to see that and hear that and recognize that there's, you know what I mean? And some people look the other way and don't even put it, it doesn't even enter their mind that could be happening. You hear the horrible ones, you hear about the Gettysburgs, and that's because it's easier to think of these places because it's tragedy. Tragedy is something that, we actually, I don't know, we like it better, as bad as that sounds. If an old woman passed away in her house, that isn't as, how do I say it? Not as creepy as 3 people were murdered in this cottage.
Yeah.
You know
No, I get you.
Sick individual.
No, I get that, yeah.
I don't know that I want to talk anymore.
I would stop.
Oh, interesting.
Rochelle's like texting you, like, just like, expect your resignation Monday morning, kind of.
Texting him, shut up. You're breaking this down. You're making us all sad, and we look like weirdos. Sit down.
Yeah. I gotta butter my freaking bread now.
Sorry
Do
about
yourself
that.
a
Let's move
favor.
on to a bit of a lighter note. Jared, congratulations, man.
I hired you. You're fired.
Right.
Welcome back, Jared. Did your
Yeah.
PC crash again?
My PC is a work in progress.
I love how,
There's this little
Jared-
thing here, about this big, that connects me to the internet. And while trying to fix my mic, I completely ripped it out of the computer. So I had to go and set that up again. So
Jared is forever talking about, oh, you guys should hop over to PC. It's so much better. Stop arguing about PlayStation and Xbox. Meanwhile, his computer needs to be reset every 3 seconds and it crashes at least once a day.
every about 5 hours after we start.
Yeah. I mean, yes, my PlayStation can sometimes sound like a jet engine, but it doesn't crash.
Does the job.
You guys were talking about what when I was gone? You were talking about.
We were talking about how like different, like I asked dream locations, and Richel said the Stanley Hotel, obviously the inspiration for the Overlook, and Brian said Gettys. No, you said you were already yeah Gettysburg.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing Irish, lads.
Or no, the battlefields of Iraq there.
Oh, Iraq. Sorry, yeah, and you related it to Gettysburg. Yeah.
Don't we have Ireland's most haunted castle, like just up the road from us?
Kennedy
Leap Castle, is it?
Yeah.
Oh no, what is it?
Leap. You got.
Is it Leap or Lep? I can't remember. I think it's Leap.
I'll have a look now.
Leap Castle.
Is it?
Ireland's most haunted. Yeah, Leap Castle.
There you go. Visit Offaly. There we go.
Lads, if you're ever there, give us a shout. Tell the best pubs in the area.
Look at it. Look at the second photo. You can tell that place is haunted.
Well, it's only up the road from us. We could probably go any time.
We should. Oh my god, we should do our own episode of Irish ghost hunters and go there.
I feel like we'd do it so stupidly it'd be disrespectful.
Invite or what?
I mean, I think it'd be worth a shot.
How about an invite over?
How about a little collab?
Gosh, yes.
Little collab.
Collab, yes. All four of us, we do a.
We can all make buttered bread sandwiches.
Yeah, and we put a buttered bread sandwich in every room in the castle, and then see what happens. See if any of them fall
taken
over.
out of one or something.
Yeah. You have to keep your sandwich clean. You have to make sure it doesn't fall over. If it falls over, there's activity there.
Okay.
I'm sorry. No, but I think that'd be fun. Yeah, to even do quote unquote.
I like to visit these places first and then see. We'll go from there.
I mean, I was close to going to.
Definitely bring the camera. The camera will be coming with us. But
boys, you're not gonna believe this, but see that's my house right there. No,
no, I was close to going to, where is it? Oh, what's that place? It's beside Hookhead. I think it's is it Wicklow or Wexford? Some house, Loftus Hall. Loftus Hall, that's it.
House, is it?
I think so. Yeah, I was going
to stay there as well.
Yeah, you can do overnight stays, and I was this close, but I was 17 at the time, literally just about to turn 18, and yeah, we didn't end up going.
You were going to stay the night, but you said that you have to watch what you watch before you go to bed.
No, I now. See, the thing is, I like to say that, but yeah, now I'm like you. I'd be started by a loud noise or something, but with full on kind of horror movies and stuff.
Thomas, check how expensive it is to stay there. I know a lady who works there.
Anyway, yeah, but scary movies nowadays, 90% of them are loud noises, so that's why I kind of think
the jump scare has definitely killed the horror movie business.
Yeah. There have been some exceptions in the last few years now where it's actually been genuinely creepy or scary even, but yeah.
What were you gonna say, Rochelle?
I was gonna say, so what if you stay here and then you wake up and someone's standing at the foot of your bed, or they're in bed with you?
I mean, I'd probably freak out, but I'd freak out. I'd either I wouldn't have a reaction. Wow. Anyways, no, but I feel everyone thinks their reaction would be scream, run. I think I'd be one of those people where it's stay as still as possible, be quiet.
Yeah, I don't think
see if it goes away.
Or run, I think that you freeze.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I would freeze.
I think if something happened, yeah, I'd probably freeze and then I just wouldn't go back to sleep. That would be the worst thing that would happen to me. I wouldn't be traumatized per se.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on what happened, obviously.
Well, how much is this place?
I'm
Yeah,
booking it now. It is. Is that 75 quid for
Yeah,
8?
For lockdown, I
overnight
wouldn't mind
on
that.
Halloween.
Oh damn! That
The reason that's
Hey,
relevant is
that's my
because
birthday.
Halloween.
Wait, Halloween is your birthday?
No, October 16th is my birthday.
Ah. The
Jesus.
reason Halloween would be, besides just being like, ooh, scary, it's an old ancient Celtic festival.
Yeah. Isn't
Isn't
Halloween
it
originally Irish?
Samhain?
Yeah, Hona, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to do, how much is that in US dollars?
Probably like 100.
$75.
Annie.
No, 75. Would you not say it was 75 euro?
Yeah, €75.
Yeah, so it's probably like 90
84, that's my
$90.
guess. 84. Let's go.
Exactly.
Come
$84.
on.
Wait, you said,
65. Oh,
bro, you said it was 75.
No, I did 57. I did
You're
57.
genius.
Well
You're
done,
genius.
well done.
Fire me. I don't care. Come on. 80,
85.
85 point. Yeah, we'll round it up.
Round it up to 86. Jared,
Okay.
you're close.
I'm in.
Pretty close. You're $1
How
off.
Flight to Ireland.
It depends where
You
you are.
guys, about 500 quid.
Wait, yeah.
More expensive.
Whereabouts are you?
St.
Like-
St. Louis.
Missouri.
I don't know where that is.
It's in the
Are you-
United States.
Are you closer
See you
to
next week.
east or west?
Midwest.
Oh,
Ooh.
oh,
Ooh.
oh, an arm, a leg, a
Okay,
little bit extra.
I don't know. Translate that.
That's a one-stop flight. You have to
I'd
get
say-
two of those.
I'd say it's probably more expensive at the moment.
Because of
Yeah.
the-
Because you think
get
it'd be cheaper at the moment, but it's gonna be more expensive.
It is
A mixture between a pandemic and
$965.
airlines.
Ooh.
dying.
Oh my god.
I'm
much-
actually not too like, oh my gosh. I'm like,
How much did they say?
Maybe we're like that because we don't have jobs.
Yeah, we're poor broke boys at the moment.
it was like
The cost?
$956.
Someone fix your mic.
Dara, fix your mic. Thank you. Anyway, yeah. So I will see you guys next week, and we will sort something. No, nothing.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I thought
I'm
it was
free. I'm free. I'm free Thursday.
Sorry, my mic's good now, yeah?
Yeah, it's all fine.
What I was about to say, Halloween special for the podcast. You guys come over. We'll go to Leap Castle, Loftus Hall, and more places. We'll go to the Hellfire Club in Dublin. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Hellfire Club, have you?
okay. So
No.
should we book tonight?
The Hellfire Club, Thomas. I don't know if it's going to come up now, but hopefully it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hellfire Club. That's like one of the stories that, if you're from Dublin, you're probably raised in it. Or if you have family members who are in Dublin, you're definitely.
There's a little thing here. It was what happened at the Hellfire Club. So
I'm not gonna say it because I'm gonna butcher it completely. So Thomas, you get
Never
the
heard
proper
of this,
thing there.
lads.
the best known Hellfire Club story is that in which the devil himself appears. A stranger had joined the members at a card game. At some point, one of the card players dropped a card on the floor. As he bent down to retrieve it, he noticed that the stranger had cloven hooves instead of feet. Huh.
I've heard it.
I know
Yeah.
that up to town it was the same
Oh.
thing, but it's genetic like.
Ah, yeah, man.
Oh man,
Jared,
that is
he's a man's
that's
goat.
horrible. That is horrible, Jared. You're a horrible person.
What?
But yeah, Hellfire Club. Apparently, I can't remember who said they were gonna try and make a movie about it or something. Some horror director. I can't remember who actually it was though. It was some recent movie. I can't. Look up Hellfire Club horror movie. It probably won't come up, but
we can get a round trip for a week for $593.
boom.
Boom. Sorted.
Not bad. Not bad.
Mad.
Oh, that's
The
not
makers of
Wait.
Get Out.
Yeah, that's
I didn't know if you were looking at your phone or you just
Jordan
were
Peele.
really annoyed.
Cool.
Because I was kind of getting worried.
yeah,
You were worried? I was
Yeah.
thinking. Well, actually, I was trying to find flights to Ireland.
These
I don't
fucking
know. I
idiots.
don't know if it was Jordan Peele, Thomas, but it was. I think a writer on writers of those movies said they wanted to do a Hellfire Club movie,
Cool.
That'd be
and I
cool.
was like, that's pretty cool.
That is very cool.
Because like Irish movies are rare. They're a dime a dozen, but an Irish horror movie, that's even more rare. I
Well,
mean,
and then never mind for them to do good. That's asking for too much.
yeah, like, wow. Anyway,
Anyway,
sorry
lads.
for that bit of a tangent.
I feel like I want to watch this now.
What are you doing?
Huh?
What?
What are you doing?
I'm reading on the Google thing.
Did that feel good?
Are you actually looking at that like haunted house?
No, I'm
Or-
looking at what you're looking up.
The Hellfire Club, yeah. No, but yeah, like after the podcast, we should share some more. I know there's definitely more. There's Petticoat Loose as well. That's more like an urban legend, though. It's not really.
Did
It's
you guys
kind
ever
of-
hear of the Legend of Alan on the Bog of Alan?
Shut up. Shut up.
Oh,
Sorry.
That's
Ignore
subject.
Jared. There is no Legend of Alan. So pretty much what the thing is, it's kind of irrelevant now because we have to do a day 2 shoot for it. Anyway, so we had a guest before, and Thomas lives beside a bog called the Bog of Alan, and so the guest we somehow it came up in conversation anyway, and
Bog.
sorry, a
Bog,
bog.
yeah.
It's kind of like
Oh,
it's like a place made up of
No,
like
not like a swamp
kinda
at all.
Oh,
compressed.
sorry.
It's like, sorry, no, don't mind Thomas. He's being an asshole. Anyway, it's like the it's gonna sound so weird. It's like kind of fossils that have kind of like just been pressed together over a course of like millions of years, and then there's like dirt mixed in with it, and then sometimes there's kind of like lakes and bog holes full of like water.
Are you still
And,
talking about this?
It's like it's a different type of habitat anyway.
People think
Okay.
they're haunted as well because they find a lot of bodies in them.
Yeah, bog
Yeah.
bodies, because they're like
Old Celtic rituals and
if you
stuff.
take like a body out of the bog, usually it's like perfectly preserved to like it's kind of like a mummification kind of thing. It's weird.
This is before Christ time. They find these guys.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry, these are weird. Anyway, but so yeah, so Thomas lives beside the Bog of Alan, and we had a guest on, and the guest just out of nowhere, we mentioned it, and he goes, "Who's Alan?" And we thought, boom,
name the whole place
$1 million
after him.
idea. Yeah,
Who's the
we're like
guy?
$1 million idea. So we came up with this thing of like a found footage horror short film called Finding Alan, where I play Alan, who is he's like pretty much a stereotypical Irish farmer, but he's like this urban legend of a man who comes out like every 22 years or something like that, and takes victims into this lake. And I emerged from the lake in like full farmer clothing and murdered the two, Thomas and Jared. But
I love it.
it's so stupid.
You and Brian should do like
We need to
collaborate
come
on
together.
a scary because he comes up with some deuce really do well.
I'm in. Okay, so yeah, we're doing this one. Okay.
Yeah, we should, because we shot the entire thing, and then
Ah,
due to unforeseen circumstances, aka one of our
Bad
hosts
acting.
swearing 400 times maybe over the course of what? I
No.
think the whole-
It was no one's fault. It was just
No.
we didn't do enough for it, and
Yeah. It
we
was
kinda-
15
we kinda
minutes of
thought
bad
we didn't have
acting
to
and
do
then
something.
me coming out of a lake, and that was it. And yeah, it wasn't scripted, so it was all kind of ad lib. So
It's
it could
pretty
have
fun.
been done much better. It was fun. It was fun to do, but yeah, so we need to do that again, and it should be fun. Yeah. Anyways,
I apologize.
Yeah, well, Jared, you brought it up, and I had to explain it, or else it wouldn't make sense.
I made a fleeting joke.
Fleeting joke that no one would have got.
So yeah,
Anyways,
you can imagine that water's or those areas are pretty spooky.
Yeah, well,
You know, you could be just beside like mud, and then 10 feet away from it, there could be a body.
yeah, we were like, I remember the first time we went up to the bog. It was me and Thomas, and we were just kind of sitting there looking out across. Like, there's a big lake in this bog, and I was just like, "How close do you think we are to a body?" And we both just said like easily within 100 feet. Like,
So
it's-
how do bodies get there? Like, is it just an accident?
Sometimes,
Oh.
sometimes it's an accident. Like, if someone's
A
like working
pagan
on
thing.
the bog, and
From the
they kind of disappear because, like, I don't know. There's something about at the bottom of the bog holes. It's like really muddy, but the mud is super hard to get out of, and you kind of sink into it. So
So, like-
sometimes it could be an accident, yeah, but most of the time it's like kind of pagan sacrifices and stuff like that.
Yeah, the
From,
ones
like,
you're seeing there in front of us, they were all sacrifices.
Yeah, that third, I think the first,
Or
the
punishment.
third, and the fourth photo, they're all what is it, the Tollan man? There was a poem written about him as well, and yeah. There's some famous ones that are found because they're like completely perfectly preserved.
Yeah, like
that one's like,
in the middle row to the bottom, you see a guy perfectly preserved ginger hair.
yeah, it's freaky though. Like, they have them in museums, and when you walk past them, you're just kind of like, ugh.
Spooked to bits.
Yeah, it's so ugh. Anyway,
yeah, it's weird. Really weird.
this is like the most Irish cultural we've ever gotten on a podcast. First, we're talking about bread and butter, and then we're talking about bog people.
I
Yeah.
apologize, guys. I'm so sorry.
No.
I'm the one who keeps bringing it up and asking stupid questions.
Ah, don't worry.
You're asking all the
I'm
good
hung up
questions.
on things that aren't ghosts, like bread on sandwiches.
Yeah,
But
we
Now I back that decision almost 100%, and now I know what bog people are,
yeah. Wow.
which I didn't know. But now I'm like, I want to go there as well. I'm also planning a trip there, and you guys are telling me all these things, so I'm making mental notes.
Oh,
Yeah, let us know.
Turkey,
Let us know
yeah,
the places you'll be at.
definitely
And
gonna have to.
I'll tell you the
do a
local
collab.
places.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
What do
Yeah.
you got in your mouth, Brian? What were you doing there?
They're just moving on.
Bread and butter.
What were-
Easy, but if shameful eating bread and butter.
What were you doing?
He's secretly kind of doing. He's just like he's hiding it in his mouth.
Ah,
What
still
is
on the
that?
Cap of a Guinness.
Did you bite that?
What?
Did you
Bad for
bite
your
that?
teeth, man.
What's wrong?
Gotta watch out for yourself, man.
Brian Allen Murray, did you bite that?
Don't shame him. Come on.
No. No. Did you?
No, don't put up a picture of that, Thomas. Don't.
Oh, Thomas!
Guys,
Rochelle has
You
gone
guys know
into
what I do?
full-on mom mode.
no, do you guys know what I do when I'm not ghost hunting?
No.
You do dental stuff, don't you?
I'm a dental hygienist, yeah.
Oh my God, Thomas!
pictures that you just
Whoa!
have no effect whatsoever because I see that daily.
Well, this is
That's
great
fine.
because Dara was actually going to miss the podcast tomorrow because he has to go to the dentist. Dara, open your mouth there.
No, I don't have to
No,
go to the dentist tomorrow.
No, I'm messing.
That would be weird. That would be weird if I had a dental appointment tomorrow, but I don't. When's the last time I had a dental appointment? That wasn't like me
6
going
months
in
ago.
because
6 months ago. 6 months ago.
Like
Correct.
6
Yep.
months ago.
Months ago would be the correct answer, but I
Probably
don't.
like 6 months. Yeah.
Yeah. I just cleaned my kid's teeth yesterday.
Mm. Well,
I
no,
bit the cat.
Don't put the cap in your mouth.
That's a bad idea, buddy.
Wow.
He should know. Get the thing out of your mouth before I smack your teeth out of your head.
Michelle's getting serious.
He's had 2 Guinnesses and 1 podcast, and he's gone crazy. He's eating bottle caps.
Like a damn goat over there.
I'm out again.
Oh my god.
Okay, you guys want to know something also completely off of ghost related?
Sure.
100%.
I think
But
people are learning a lot about you guys.
Yes.
It's great.
Okay, so I'm lazy.
So
Like-
am I.
I just have to start it off with I'm lazy, all right? I want to be in shape. I want to be healthy. But I love McDonald's and I'm not willing to give that up. I eat it at least once a week, at least. I don't know how to meal prep because I just now started reading suggested serving sizes on the back of cartons. I eat what I want and do whatever the hell I want. I don't like to work out because I don't like to sweat. Also, I don't like my muscles to hurt. So I told my husband that Facebook apparently knew me and advertised this thing, and I was buying it. And he was like, why don't you just work out? And I was like, because we've been married almost 12 years and you should know that's not my personality. Anyway, so I got this thing. It goes on your, I got multiple things, I'll be honest. But I'm pretty sure, I haven't tried it out quite yet, but it basically shocks the shit out of you to make your muscles contract.
Heard of these things.
Oh, yeah, I have heard of these things, yeah.
But you don't actually have to do the workout. So
I don't
sit
know, but that scares me.
chips with my ab thing on, binge watching like True Blood, but it'll be like I did 100 crunches.
That's nice. I know guys who are models, and just before a shoot, like when they're dehydrating to get like their muscles to look bigger, they'll have this thing strapped to their abs until the moment they have to take it off.
Yeah. Okay, I did try the butt one.
That's fair.
Which is this,
I would too.
but it basically like I put it on, and I was cracking up laughing because it was moving my shorts because my butt was doing this. And it comes with the remote control.
Oh my. Wow.
So that's what I've been up to.
I mean, alright, I shouldn't say this because apparently me and the boys are meant to be on a paleo diet, but I myself had McDonald's today, and I completely agree with your lifestyle. I'm sorry, boys.
My God.
Boys, I had no choice. I literally had no choice. They pull up into a McDonald's, they're like, what do you want? And I'm like, I can't say no, I have to say nuggies. Like, I have to do it. I
Nothing.
did it.
I'm on a paleo diet, which means I can't have processed shite.
McDonald's isn't processed, though, is it?
It's processed, but it's
Possibly,
not.
possibly
It's
the most processed food in the entire world.
Oh, Dara, we are going to bully you.
I
So-
apologize.
I actually think that I'm going
You're
to
the
get.
only one who hasn't stuck with it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I just, I've listened to people who are like hugely in shape. They're ripped, and they don't believe in diets. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I do that too. Except I'm not. I weigh the same as like a a heavyweight UFC fighter with 90% less muscle. Hey, but I don't have a problem with
I'm
that.
sure I do as well, but like,
No,
I'm not in the
definitely
shape
not.
of it.
Well,
Yeah,
guys,
I'm not in the shape of it either.
if I get ripped, you'll know that these things work.
Yeah, if you get
Well,
ripped, you
let
gotta
us
tell
know.
us.
Pictures, and I'm like jacked.
I will be going to sleep with those things on.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, okay, Rochelle may have been stupid at first, but she was onto something, and now we can eat.
That
whatever-
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
I'm just over
Have
here
you
like
tried to sleep with it on? Like on the lowest like power
I haven't
option?
tried it out yet. So I'm going to do a video the first time I put it on, so people can see my initial reaction to it. I'm scared for the ab one. The butt one, I went, oh. That was my initial reaction to that one. Oh, I was like, okay, I can do
Interesting.
that. I didn't feel anything. Like I was like, my butt feels normal. Like it doesn't hurt. Like I had worked out or anything. But today, it's definitely sore. Like it feels. I was going up the stairs and I was like, ugh. So I think it does work.
You
That would be it's working, yeah.
I mean, no, I think the last time I worked out like really hard, I woke up the next day and I think I stayed in bed all day because I just couldn't move. I was like, I felt like someone had like smacked me into a brick wall at least 17 times.
But to
And
be
I
honest,
was-
it sounds great. Like you just put this pad on wherever you want to like gain muscle. Do whatever you want. It's gonna hurt a little bit, but you'll be ripped by the end of it. Like
Yeah. I mean, I think it'd be better than going out and like going for a run every day for like 2 years.
running
I mean,
has its own
I'm not saying
benefits.
I'm not saying it's better for you, but like similar effect.
We talk to like world champion athletes, and you're still here like,
Yeah, like
electric pad.
it's no, it's like I know that what I do is unhealthy. I know that like not working out is unhealthy. I know that like eating a lot of junk food is unhealthy. I can't stop myself.
That's okay.
As long as Chinese food exists, I will be the way I am.
Not even Chinese food. It's just like
A munchie
takeaway
box,
food.
yeah, a munchie box from the Chinese. Like that's my main go-to thing. As soon as like if I get money and I'm like, oh, I'm hungry, go to the Chinese, get a munchie box. Way too big for me. Like serving sizes are out of fucking proportion. Like so bad. It's like this big pizza box full of chicken and like fries and sauce and like it's just.
I'm glad
Wow.
you told me what the munchie box was because I was going to ask next, what's in this box?
Yeah, I'm
Thomas,
getting
all
a
right.
picture of it now.
I'm gonna show it. All right, we have to get.
Prepare
We have to get.
amazed.
We have to get an accurate picture though. Oh my god, I'm getting hungry thinking about this.
This
Lads.
What time is it? Oh, the Chinese is closed. All right, the fourth picture right there, that's probably the most accurate one.
I can't excuse that. You're like, oh yeah, paleo diet. When's the Chinese open?
Man, you have to excuse that because look at that. Look at how incredible that is.
Oh. So what
It's
that
like-
is?
Chinese food to me, though.
Yeah,
no,
it's,
that
it's
isn't
not,
Chinese
it's,
food.
Yeah,
It's,
that's
it's
not
like
at all Chinese food.
It's Irish Chinese food. I actually had this debate with someone who's not from Ireland. They were like, "That's not Chinese food at all," and I was like, "To us it is."
know.
Yeah, I was like, "To us it is," but like, yeah, it's like pretty much the standard things are like salt and chili fries. Well, as you call them, fries. Salt and chili chicken wings, salt and chili shredded chicken, chicken balls, and then like whatever sauce you want. And I go for the Szechuan. I go for the Szechuan because it's either Szechuan or satay. Look at Jared just being disappointed in me like a father who's just watched his son lose a race. No, but I'm sorry, it's my kryptonite. Like, it's the worst thing is if you're out in the village and you smell the Chinese, you're like, oh my god, I have to.
He slumped down so far that you could only just see his
You can
eyes.
see, you can just barely see the disappointment in Jared's eyes and his forehead. But no, like
Nice.
I'm over here looking at. I bought something like 2 weeks ago, and I still haven't used it because, right, boys, you have to commend me on the last time I had a cycle because I cycled like 25 kilometers, which is how many miles is that? It's probably not that many. It's probably like 18 to 20 miles cycled. But my ass hurt after that.
It's
I was
12 miles.
12 25, no, 25, not 12.
Right,
Sorry, 25, not 20.
Brian, you're being very quiet. You got any input on this?
15, 16, sorry, 16. Almost.
No,
Say that again?
50.5.
I was thinking about chicken.
My guy. Anyway,
My wife-
no.
my- Chicken strips right now.
I was
So-
thinking about Chinese food.
What's your idea about it?
Oh, I love chicken. Is probably I love it. I
See-
eat it 5 to 6 times a day.
Finally, someone I can be on the same side as.
Yes,
Chicken.
I'm also. I don't like Chinese food though,
Ooh.
but I could eat eat chicken strips for every meal, every day of my life. And once you started talking about chicken, I zoned out. I started salivating like Pavlov's dog. And my wife there's strips right now. So thank you for bringing me to heaven.
Yeah, no bother.
Rochelle, you said you had an idea about a Chinese, or you said you had an idea about Chinese.
Is it fair to say we've gone past the point where if I start talking about paranormal investigation again,
go away.
it's not going to work.
Rochelle, you had go on.
Rochelle,
Please.
go
I was
ahead.
actually thinking about Chinese food and how I wanted to get some. But I was like, okay.
Subliminal messaging.
I'm sorry for ruining your podcast.
No, you haven't. This has been incredible.
This is great.
Hey, we need to do part 2.
But anyway, 15.5 kilometers is the last time I cycled, and after that I realized, holy shit, my ass hurts. So I want to make it as comfortable as an experience as I can. So I'm gonna cover the brand just so I don't get like absolutely destroyed. But here we go.
Oh.
Yeah, they're
That
like they're undershorts, so like you wear them underneath whatever like pants you're wearing for cycling, and it stops it being sore. Yeah, and I still haven't used them, so I don't know if they work.
We have those, but it's to make girls look like they have a butt.
I mean, it probably has the same effect. It probably has the same effect, but it's like I bought that like maybe 2 weeks ago, and I still have not used it. Jared is like so disgusted right now. You okay there, Lebowski? Jared needs a drink. I know he's on a paleo diet, but he needs a drink. You need to ease up, man. Take your foot off the gas. Stop trying to go with a normal linear podcast. We don't do that here. We have fun podcasts that go on crazy tangents. We're interviewing 2 paranormal investigators, and we're talking about padded shorts and chicken strips. Shit happens, bro.
We made someone eat fucking bread on a podcast. Come on.
We witnessed someone experience bread and butter for the first time.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the message we want to. That's the message.
That's the message we want to put across. We want to say, hey, eat what you want.
Yeah, you guys changed my life.
Boom.
If we ever do like a review thing, like we're gonna use that, Richel Stratton, you guys changed my life.
Yeah, it's just like if we ever do a review, it's just like Dara tested, Richel approved. Oh my god, are we gonna just use that clip for everything? You changed my
Guys,
Yeah.
Yes.
my chicken strips are almost done.
Well, do you know what?
You know what?
It's
I think we've seen enough eating on this podcast today.
I'm sorry.
No, Jared,
No,
shut up.
no.
I want to see
That's not your
Brian
fault at all.
review these chicken strips.
No, Brian,
You
go
wanna
ahead.
see-
Strips.
Oh, eat one of these.
Yes.
What is wrong with you, Dara?
I will,
You want to see people
I will
eat?
sit here patiently and wait for Brian to get his chicken strip. I'm sorry. No.
Anyway,
Um,
guys, apologize. It's been a pleasure to have you guys on today. We went and talked about some fucking mental stuff.
That was a serious
I'm gonna need a while to take in what I talked about today and think about what I've done with my life. I think at least someone else in this conversation might feel the same.
Just think of how much people are going to enjoy this podcast. They're going to come in thinking, oh, this is going to be a spooky one. And then they're going to get slapped in the face with food,
Bread and
padded
butter,
shorts,
just stuck
and
on the face.
taping pads to your stomach to make you get abs. Like, boom.
Yeah.
Love to
Guys,
see it.
if people want to follow you, they want to check you out online, where can they find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Stratton Rochelle.
And you can find me on all of those with Brian_Murray GH.
GH.
I will be following and watching your career, and hopefully watching one of you post something about bread and butter at some point.
Me and Richel are actually going to be doing videos.
Yes.
Here's
Oh my God, yes.
videos quite often. Every week we're going to try to do something. It's not going to happen every week, but that's what we're shooting for. And I am sure you'll see bread and butter. I'm sure
Better. You guys better.
That means a lot. Thank you.
Asking, ab shocking, whatever. We're going to do a lot of things. We will definitely, for you guys, get to see some of that stuff because you opened the door, and now you got to see how we are, and now you're gonna be stuck with us. Deal?
I will take that and I will live with it.
Yeah, I suppose we have to. A last question for anyone who's a fan of the show. Are you guys doing any more seasons? Or can you talk about that?
Right now, everything is up in the air due to the virus. We have to wait for that to clear and get, where everybody's healthy, where you can travel before we do anything else at the moment.
That's fair.
So, you know what? At right now, all we're worried about is making sure everybody's good to go and safe. And we're never going to stop investigating no matter what. So
that's great.
Awesome.
You'll see us. But got to stay healthy first.
Yes,
exactly. You don't want to turn to a ghost yourself.
Bread and butter.
Yeah, Yeah, chicken strips and Chinese food, all that stuff. Do all that.
Make sure you stay hydrated, though. You have to.
And wear a mask.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wear a mask.
Guys, this has been Richel and Brian. Thank you so much for getting on.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank you.
And goodbye.